Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome. I'm really glad that you could join us today for our virtual open house for the Department of Humanities and Politics here at Nova Southeastern University. I know this time of day can get busy, so I appreciate you taking the time to be here with us. We have a great session planned, so let's go ahead and get started. Let me start with a quick introduction. My name is Farah Amro, and I am a graduate admissions counselor here at NSU. I'll be guiding you through today's session, and you'll hear directly from our faculty about the program. By the end of our time together, my goal is for you to walk away with a clear understanding of the program and what makes the Department of Humanities and Politics here at NSU such a unique place to study. I also want to take a moment to recognize our dean, Dr. Robin Cooper, who leads the Halmos College of Arts and Sciences. Dr. Cooper is a professor of conflict resolution and ethnic studies with a strong focus on identity-based and cross-cultural conflict. She's received multiple external funding awards here at NSU and serves in a senior editorial role with the Qualitative Reports. She's also a member of the board of the Peace and Justice Studies Association, and we are very proud to have her leadership guiding the college. Before we get into the program, I will share a quick overview of Nova Southeastern University as well. NSU was established in 1964 and now offers more than 280 programs across undergraduate, graduate, and professional studies. We are also one of only 2 private universities in Florida with an R1 designation, reflecting the highest level of research activity. NSU is proudly a Hispanic-serving institution, and it's recognized for its commitment to community engagement. Our main campus is located in Fort Lauderdale-Davie, about 25 miles north of Miami. We also have an oceanographic campus in Dania Beach, along with additional locations across Florida and international sites in the Bahamas, Jamaica, and Puerto Rico. So when you join NSU, you're really becoming part of a university with both a strong local presence and a growing global reach. Another thing that really stands out at NSU is the campus environment and the resources available to students. The Alvin Sherman Library is actually the largest building in Florida with plenty of space for studying, research, and collaboration. We also have the Don Taft University Center, which is a central hub on campus with fitness and wellness facilities, event spaces, and areas for students to connect and throughout the day. All of these resources. Hi, Dr. Bass. Dr. Bass just joined us. So, it says that Nelson Bass as the name. Hi, Dr. Edwards. How are you?
I'm doing good. Sorry, I think I joined off his links. I apologize. I'll
That's
change it.
okay. No problem. No problem.
Continue.
Okay. So as I was saying, all of these resources at NSU are available to you as graduate students, whether you're looking for academic support, wellness options, or just spaces to collaborate and connect. At NSU, you really get the best of both worlds, the resources of a major research university, along with a community that feels supportive, accessible, and student-focused. Within NSU, the Halmos College of Arts and Sciences is home to the Department of Humanities and Politics. The college also brings together areas like biological sciences, marine and environmental sciences, chemistry, mathematics, communication and rhetoric, and conflict resolution, creating a dynamic cross-disciplinary setting. This is the kind of environment that encourages collaboration and brings in a range of perspectives, which is especially valuable when you're studying global issues and policy. Now, across all the areas that I just mentioned, the college offers several graduate programs at both the master's and doctoral levels. For today, we will be focusing specifically on the Master of Science in National Security Affairs and International Relations. Now that you have a sense of the college, let's take a closer look at the Department of Humanities and Politics, which is often referred to here as DOHP, where this program is housed. The department is based on our main campus. It offers a range of undergraduate programs that build a strong foundation in areas like history, philosophy, and political science. At the graduate level, it offers the Master of Science in National Security Affairs and International Relations, which is our focus today. This program is designed to help you build both theoretical knowledge and practical skills to analyze complex global issues. I also want to briefly introduce the department's leadership. Dr. George Nelson Bass III is the Associate Professor and Chair of the Department of Humanities and Politics. Although he's not with us today, he plays an important role in guiding the department. His background combines academic research and real-world experience with a focus on NGOs and US foreign policy. And he also founded NSU's Model UN team, giving students a hands-on experience in diplomacy. And now I would like to again introduce or welcome Dr. Ransford Edwards Jr., who serves as the graduate program coordinator and is the primary faculty member overseeing this master's program. Dr. Edwards plays a central role in shaping the curriculum, advising students, and guiding the overall direction of the program. He is an assistant professor in history and political science, with research focused on disaster politics, social and economic justice, and regional issues in the Caribbean and Latin America. At this point, I will turn it over to Dr. Edwards to walk you through the program in more detail.
Perfect. Thank you very much. And again, also thank you for coordinating this event. So you can go to the next slide. That would be awesome. All right, so our MS in National Security and International Affairs, what we intend to do is help you develop the theoretical research and practical skills to be a professional in the national security industry. You'll learn through people that have spent time in the industry with a practical experience, and you also learn the theoretical aspects, right? From professors like myself, who do research primarily dealing with national security, international relations, right? Economic statecraft and whatnot. We also have a variety of internships, scholarships available. So make sure you take advantage of the full gamut of resources that we have for you, right, within the context of shaping U.S. national security policies. And again, national security is extremely diverse, right? I think when this program started, we would think of national security as tied to, right, post 9/11. But national security is really tied to anything international, right? So as we can see in conflicts going on now in the Strait of Hormuz, how things far away can have an impact, right, on things that we're doing domestically, right? So we really want to take a broader, more global approach to national security. So you can go to the next slide. Perfect. Um, so, right, our department and our faculty, we have a broad range of experience. Some of us do literary theory, some do Latin American regional expertise, where we have faculty that deal with international law, faculty that deal with philosophy, American legal, constitutional history, political philosophy, comparative government. So you will have a wide range of expertise, a wide range of theoretical perspectives to draw from. Go to the next slide. So our course, right? The base of it, you have 36 credits. You have to also pass either comprehensive exam or thesis option, right? I think the easy part is getting into grad school. Sometimes the hard part can be leaving. And there's two routes. You can take an exam or you can write a thesis. So we could talk more about that later, right? You have to maintain a certain GPA, and you have, right, a balance between core courses, which is 21 credits, and you have elective courses, which you have 15 credits. You can go to the next slide. All right. Students normally attend the program as part-time or full-time. That kind of varies. Part-time is very simple, right? Ideally, you want to take one class per semester. As a full-time, you can take anything above 1, 2, 3. We don't recommend going above 3, right? Because, right, we also assume that many people in our program are sometimes in law enforcement or are in a career already. So you want to be able to balance, right, the course load with, sometimes just the work-life balance. But some exceptional students are able to take more credits per semester, and as such, they can finish the program a bit quicker. We have practicums. They're not required, but they also allow for you to get hands-on, centralized experience. And you have to constantly stay enrolled. After 5 years, right, you have to think about getting out of the program. So this is where, again, you would either do the thesis option or the comps. And most students, again, finish within, about 2.5 years, 2 years. Of course, and I think this is, one of our strongest points is that our program is very, very flexible. You can either do on campus or, and we say hybrid. Um, so for example, I'm teaching a class tonight. It's a hybrid class. So it's every Wednesday night from 6 to 9. And we have students that come on campus, on ground. So you get to actually field like a graduate seminar. So if you like that, if you miss that experience, if you want that experience, you crave it, which I do, that's my preference, right? You come to a class, you sit down and you have the conversations, right? You grapple with the material. And we go through that process, right, of scholarship and academic debate. At the same time, in those classes, we have a Zoom option like we have now. So we have students from around the world, right, that also are in the class, and they get the synchronous discussion. So they're on the screens and we're talking as a class, right? So if you're not local, right? If you're not here, you can still join these classes and you'll have, again, the seminar type experience from the comfort of your own home or a quiet place, right? Somewhere in this world. So, like, I find that students really, really like the on-campus option, right? It keeps you really engaged. And again, it brings you back to being a student and that learning environment. So, right, our program offers that. And we also have fully online courses, but I think unique to us, what we really appreciate is having the hybrid option with the on-ground, you know, availability. We also have a cybersecurity concentration, which in lieu of some of your electives, you can take cybersecurity courses, which are outside of our department, but right in partnership with them, you can take these courses, which give you, I guess, a basic foundation of cybersecurity. Obviously, you would need to go deeper into that discussion, right, into those courses, right, to get the real sense of being like a cybersecurity analyst. But we do have a cybersecurity concentration, and it is quite popular amongst the students. Um, we have a student spotlight, Amber Paquette. She's supposed to be here. I don't know if she got the link. But right, she's one of our exceptional students. She's graduating this semester. She actually just completed her comps. She's a president of the Graduate Undergraduate Leadership Council, and that's important to you, right? So if you do want to maintain, again, a networking, relationship with alumni, with undergraduates, with the college in general, right? We also have opportunities through our through a graduate undergraduate leadership council where we do events, we bring in alumni speakers, and we try to get undergraduate students and graduate students together and develop right a network. Again, tied to also some of our alumni. She has also worked as an academic administrator for NSAI ARR program. Um, what hasn't she done, right? She's President 64. She has given many speeches, right? She's worked for Dryad Global, which is a maritime security and risk intelligence firm, and we have an exclusive relationship with them. So they may be looking for candidates like you, right, for an internship. And again, she has supported our program through and through, and she's actually a finalist for Student of the Year. And we're very proud, right, that she is our department and she is in our program. I think one question that students have, which is quite reasonable, is what can I do with a degree in national security and international relations? And over the years, right, we have sent students everywhere, right? I think the most popular has been in the government and public sector, Washington, D.C., intelligence analysts, right? We have many students working for the Department of Homeland Security. Students have also, right, gone on to international organizations. We've had students in the private sector, students working for security contractors. And we've also had students that have gone to PhDs, right? So they've left our program and they have gone on to a higher degree, right? The ultimate degree to become a professor at other universities. So we run the full gamut in terms of, right, where we send our students from public sector, private sector, or back into academia. Obviously, right, there are some challenges, right? The current administration, um, the opportunities that sometimes we had in the public sector, right, is not as strong because, right, the government has been a little bit austere, right, in terms of hiring. But we still there's still definitely options, and these are things that we can talk about throughout your time here at the program. And again, we have our alumni spotlights, and many of these students have also returned to us to talk about, right, their current job and how the experiences they had in our program really lent to their experiences. We have April McIntosh, Brian Day, and Mariah Johnson. I have met all of them. I spent time with them. I think Mariah and I went to Cuba, right, as one of our study abroad programs in the NSAIR program. So there's opportunities also for a travel study if you're interested in that. We came back in December. We went to Ireland. We went to Belfast, Northern Ireland, and those places. So we have opportunities also for you to travel and get hands-on learning experience, right, in particular countries and linked to, right, national security and international relations. So these are just some of the students that have, gone through the ranks and have done and are still doing marvelous, wonderful, interesting things with their degree. And then I'll turn it back over to Farah.
Thank you so much, Dr. Edwards, for
No
that
problem.
overview of the program. Before we move into the admissions process, I also want to briefly introduce our graduate admissions team here at Halmos College of Arts and Sciences. We're the team that will support you throughout the entire process, from your initial inquiry all the way through enrollment. Our team is led by Brett McAllister, who also oversees admissions for marine and environmental sciences. We also have Megan Troy, who manages biological sciences as well as chemistry and physics, and Andrew Goppner, our administrative assistant, who supports both applicants and students behind the scenes. For those of you interested in the Master's in National Security Affairs and International Relations, I will be your primary point of contact moving forward. And with that, I'll go ahead and walk you through the admissions process, key timelines, and next steps. You'll see my contact information here on the screen. Please feel free to reach out at any point by email, phone, or to schedule a virtual or in-person meeting. I am here to support you throughout the entire process. Let's start with the application deadlines and your available start terms. As you can see on the screen, the program offers 3 entry points throughout the year: winter, summer, and fall of each year. Winter is listed here, but it's crossed out because that deadline has already passed for this cycle. The next available start is summer of 2026 with an application deadline of April 17th, followed by fall 2026 with a deadline of July 17th. Once your application is complete, it will be reviewed on a rolling basis, meaning it is evaluated as soon as all the materials are received, rather than waiting for the application deadline. And for this reason, we strongly encourage you to apply early, as it allows for faster review, earlier decisions, and more time to plan your next steps. Now that we've covered the timeline, let's take a look at the application requirements and what you'll need to prepare. As you see on the screen, the requirements are very straightforward. You'll complete the online application, submit the $50 application fee, provide official transcripts, upload a resume or a CV, and include an academic writing sample. If English is not your first language, you will also need to submit proof of English proficiency. We do look for a minimum GPA of 3.0. I will highlight a few important details so you know exactly what to keep in mind regarding these requirements. Everything is submitted through your online application portal, and that's also where you will track your status. Your file will move forward for review once all the required materials are received. For the transcripts, they must be official and sent directly from your institution or through an approved third-party service like Parchment or National Student Clearinghouse. If you completed coursework outside the US, a credential evaluation will be required. Your writing sample should be about 2 to 5 pages and demonstrate your ability to think critically and write clearly. If you're submitting a part of a longer paper, just make sure that it reads as a complete piece, meaning it has a clear introduction, a developed main argument or analysis, and a conclusion so that the faculty can fully understand your work. For your resume or your CV, we recommend including 3 references, with at least 1 being an academic reference, along with full contact information. Now, if English is not your first language, you will need to submit an exam such as TOEFL, IELTS, Duolingo, or PTE, unless you qualify for an exemption. For example, you may be exempt if you completed a degree at an institution where English was the primary language of instruction, such as earning a bachelor's or a master's degree in the US or another English-speaking country. Now, once your application is complete, it will be reviewed, as I said, by the faculty. And as I also mentioned, we review the applications on a rolling basis. So applying early is always to your advantage. Now that you know what's required for your application, let's take a look at what happens after you submit it and how the process works on our end. Once your application is submitted, you'll gain access to the admission documents section in your portal, which you can see highlighted here on the screen. This is where you're going to upload your writing sample, your resume, and proof of English language proficiency, if applicable. But I want you to keep in mind that this section will not appear until you've paid the application fee and fully submitted your application. Also, all updates will be sent to the email address that you use on your application. So be sure that you are checking that email account regularly. After you upload your documents, it will take about 24 to 48 hours for them to be processed and for us to receive them. So if you do not see them reflected right away, that's completely normal. I always recommend giving it that time and then following up with me so I can confirm that your file is complete. Once everything has been received and your application is complete, I will forward it to the faculty for review. The review process typically takes about 7 to 14 business days. And after that, you will be notified of a decision. If you're admitted, we will guide you through the next steps, including submitting your seat deposit, connecting with your department for advising, and registering for classes. Now that you have a clear understanding of the application process, let's shift into another important part of your decision-making, which is tuition and funding. For this master's program, tuition is $860 per credit. And that total program cost comes out to approximately $31,000 based on the required credits. U.S. students may apply for financial aid through FAFSA, which can include federal loans, and our financial office, of course, is available to guide you through that process. We also offer monthly payment plans, which are available to both domestic and international students. If you're interested in setting one up, you're going to want to contact the bursar's office at least 2 weeks before classes begin. There are also a few tuition discount opportunities available, including a 20% discount through the Military Affairs Academic Program, which extends to spouses and direct dependents, and a 30% discount for employees of the Broward County Sheriff's Office. If you would like more information on any of these options, please feel free to reach out, and I'm happy to walk you through the details and connect you with the appropriate offices. In addition to the funding options that we just discussed, I also want to touch on scholarship opportunities available through Halmos College and what you can expect. There are a few different types of scholarships, which may be offered at the university level, through the college, or within the department itself. One important thing to keep in mind is that most of these scholarships require you to be enrolled as a full-time student and to have an established NSU GPA. So in most cases, you would apply after completing your first semester rather than before starting the program. And these scholarships are typically partial, meaning they can help reduce your overall cost, but they do not cover the full tuition. At this time, full funding is unfortunately not available for this program. You may also come across research assistantship opportunities, which involve working with faculty on research projects. These depend on available funding and can vary from term to term, so they are not always guaranteed. Now, for the most up-to-date information on scholarships, I recommend reaching out to the Halmos College Scholarship Team. Their email address is on the screen. And for any department-specific opportunities, which vary depending on availability, Dr. Edwards is actually your point of contact. And of course, if you need help connecting with either, feel free to reach out to me and I will be happy to guide you. Now, as we begin to wrap up, I also want to share a few ways for you to stay connected with us. I encourage you to follow us across our social media platforms. It's a great way to keep up with upcoming events, student highlights, faculty work, and program updates. We'll also be posting today's virtual open house on our YouTube channel, so you can revisit the session or share it with others. You can find it by searching NSU Halmos College of Arts and Sciences on YouTube. Sorry. There we go. That concludes the admissions portion of today's session. We'd now love to open it up for your questions. Feel free to drop them in the Q&A box, and I will be happy to answer any questions related to the application process. And Dr. Edwards is here. He can address any questions about the program itself, including the curriculum and the academic experience. You can also use the contact information on the screen if anything comes up after today. We'll now open it up for your questions. We will give you a few moments to type them into the Q&A box. I will start with the first question. Dr. Edwards, no, actually, that question is for me. So if I apply close to the deadline, does that hurt my chances at all? The answer is not in terms of eligibility, no, but applying earlier is always better. It allows more time for review, faster decisions, and more time for you to actually plan your next steps and be ready when the course registration opens. Okay. Dr. Edwards, how flexible is the program? Like, can students choose based on what they're interested in?
Oh yeah, absolutely, right. We have a variety of courses. Right, so I mean we have a set amount of core credits that you have to take. But the elective options ranges, right, from ethical concerns to border security, right? So, right, there are definitely options also tied to the cybersecurity, which again, many students have used. So you do have an opportunity to tailor your experience to your interests. And we also support independent studies and direct readings. So in this case, many students may want to go one-on-one with grapple with a research question and work with an individual professor. So those courses can be tailored directly to a research question you may have, and we can work with the student in support of their ambitions and their goals.
A question that says, how do I know if my application is actually complete or if I'm missing something? So you'll be able to track everything through your application portal, as I said. Once all the required documents are received and processed, I can also confirm that for you. So you're more than welcome to email me and say, okay, I uploaded all my documents. Can you please check? Sometimes the systems don't talk with each other and I don't get notified that your application is actually complete. So once you upload everything, please do go ahead and email me to let me know that you did upload everything, and I will double check your application and let you know if anything else is missing. Okay, what part of the application matters the most? So from an admissions standpoint, your writing sample is one of the most important pieces, along with a clear and well-organized resume, because this is what we're looking at. This is like kind of the face that we see when we're looking at your application. And together they give faculty a strong sense of your academic ability and the overall background. But instead of me just speaking for the people who are actually making the decisions, I'm going to pass it over to Dr. Edwards so he can share what they're really looking for when they're reviewing applications.
No, so far I think you nailed it. But again, it varies, right? So you can think about, yeah, it can be your writing sample, which kind of gives us a snapshot, right, into your ability to write and formulate and synthesize material. Um, and also uniquely, right, letters of recommendation are important because that is another professional, one of our peers, vouching on your behalf. And right, inside secret, right? Not all recommendations are equal, right? So, right, you've had recommendations where you're like, yeah, this person, came to class, they showed up, they got a degree. Or you have ones that say, look, this student is a can't miss, right? They are in the top, 5% of students that I've ever dealt with. And right, you have to take the students, right? To not take the student is going to be a loss to you, right? So having someone vouch for you, right, and speak glowingly of you, your abilities, that's quite meaningful, right? Again, that's professionals talking to professionals about you. So you can't underestimate how important that is.
Okay, I want to extend on what Dr. Edwards is saying. Now, for the letters of recommendations, just know that there won't be a place for you to upload them. So if the faculty need your letters of recommendation, then they will let you know, they will let me know, and I will connect with you and I will say that we need letters of recommendation. And this is why we do advise that you list them on your, you list three references on your CV or your resume, and then we can take a look at those references. We do prefer that one of them is an academic reference. If for any reason you've been out of school for a very long time and you do not, you don't have any contact with any of your professors, that's completely fine. You can let me know, and then, I will communicate this to the faculty review committee that all of the references are professional references for that reason. Okay, so we have a question coming in. Does the DoD National, and I'll let you answer this, Dr. Edwards. Does the DoD National Blue Ribbon cover all tuition and fees? Since I am honestly new to the admissions to this program, I am not really sure if it does. Do you know, Dr. Edwards?
Yeah, so that's something I have to get back to you. I'm not particularly sure, but I'll
Mhm.
talk to Nasine Grant. And
Yeah.
if that person can leave their contact, we'll get the information directly to you.
Okay, so for me right now, it just says iPhone. Actually, I do not know who this person is.
Okay.
So what I would recommend for the person that asked the question is please email me, and it's famro@nova.edu. Uh, and let me know, that this was your question, and we will get back to you with an answer, of course.
Thank you. It's an awesome question.
Okay. And then okay, Dr. Edwards, is this doable if I'm working full-time? And do you take transfer credits?
Absolutely. It's doable for the first question, right? Definitely. Again, most of our students, the majority, do have full-time jobs. Right? So, because of, let's say, the on-campus on the night classes, it tends to also work out for many students, right? They leave work and they jump on the Zoom and we have our conversation. So it's actually tailored for professionals, right? For professionals, in mid-career or trying to advance in your particular field. So it's definitely doable. I'm sorry, I missed the second part. I forgot the second part.
Do you accept transfer of credits?
Yes, right. It's very rare, but we do, right? Because we have, there's universities around Florida, for example, FIU has a similar program, and we can definitely look into some of those courses that you have taken from a similar program.
Another question, can I start my application now, even if I don't have all my documents ready yet? Yes, absolutely you can. You can start your application at any time and submit it while you're still working on your documents. Then you can upload the remaining items through your portal as you complete them. Just keep in mind that your application won't move forward for review until everything has been received. And in certain cases, for example, we have applicants who are finishing their degree and they're just waiting for it to be officially conferred. In those cases, we can still review the application. So if you send me an official transcript, but there is no conferral date, that is okay. We can review the application, but for full enrollment, we would still require you to send that degree once it's conferred. Now, I do have. So we usually, I know that I have an attendee raise their hand, but we usually do not allow for questions live. So if you would like to put your question in the Q&A box, we would really appreciate it. And moving forward, Dr. Edwards, what are the classes actually like? More lectures or discussions?
Awesome question. Primarily discussions, right? At this level, right, as you're in the graduate level, like we want you to take ownership of your education, right? So there is a reading material and you discuss it. So no longer are you being lectured to, but you're joining a discussion amongst peers, right? Amongst intellectuals, amongst scholars, and you take an active role in actually like meshing out these things, synthesizing material, and coming up with solutions to issues. So the courses are primarily based on seminar style discussions. For example, in my course, at least 2 weeks, students have to lead discussions. So it's your job, right, to read the material, provide an outline for students, maybe some potential questions, and throughout that 2 hour, 3 hour span, you are facilitating the entirety of the discussion, right? You're asking questions, you're doing follow-ups, you're navigating through the discussion. So obviously it builds, presentation skills, it builds organization, it builds confidence. So yeah, it's primarily based on in you having the ability to discuss in an organized manner amongst peers and colleagues.
Thank you, Dr. Edwards.
No problem.
Another question, do students get support from professors with careers or networking?
Oh, absolutely. We have an alumni LinkedIn website. So, we reach out. We have again alumni email list. Every year we have an alumni event that we host and we bring back students to like meet and coordinate. And you can definitely also email us at any time, right? I'm still in contact with students that I've had years ago. So our department is small enough, right? And it's very collegial. It's very cozy. So we do build those relationships one-on-one with our students. So you're definitely going to feel it on the first day you step into a classroom that, right, like you are seen, you're heard, and you're part of, right, the NSAIR program as a shark.
Right. That is probably our last question. If we don't get any, then that would wrap up our session for today. What do students usually find most challenging in the program?
Um, it's grad school, right? So the expectation, right? The reading, right? The analytical ability, right? That's enhanced, and the expectation is a bit higher. So I think sometimes it's the coursework, but again, you do have the support, and that's important. And we're also working on again, developing our relationship with the public and private sector, right? Because I think students are also hesitant to think about, okay, how does this translate into me getting a job, right? So that can also be a question that we're constantly trying to work on and, just make that relationship better between, right? How does this relate or translate into you in your particular field? But yeah, it's grad school, and grad school is supposed to be hard. It's supposed to be challenging. If it's too easy, then it's not worth doing. But you're gonna do it because you're here, right? So absolutely. I look forward to seeing you.
Thank you, Dr. Edwards. I'm gonna wait just for a few moments in case someone needs to still ask anything. And while I'm saying that, while we're waiting for everyone, I just want to say thank you all for attending today, the session. And again, as I said, it's going to be posted on our YouTube channel, and you're more than welcome to email me, a lot of the students out of experience, like I send them the requirements, and the application process sometimes can feel overwhelming, but it really isn't. Talk to me, email me, I'll guide you through, and you will find that this is really very easy. The earlier that you submit your application, you complete it, you can get that decision, and be prepared for school, because also when the classes open and registration opens, there's a lot to do afterwards. You have to create your NSU ID, you have to get yourself situated, especially if you were not an NSU student in our undergrad. So keep those things in mind. And since no questions came in, Dr. Edwards, I would like to thank you so much for your time. I know you're very busy and probably have classes to teach, so thanks again. We
No, thank you. I wouldn't miss it for the world.
Again, thank you to those who made the time to be with us, and we hope to connect with you soon. Have a great rest of your day. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Farah. Appreciate it.
Of course. Bye.
Bye.